Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about grappling, so we're going to be heading to Grapplefest Saturday, the 1st of October. Now, it's going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, anybody looking for tickets, head over to the Grapplefest Facebook page. You will get all the ticket details through there. There's also going to be pay-per-view available on this as well through Fight TV. So anybody that can't make the event on the evening, then make sure you head over to Fight TV and get all the details through there. And again, we'll announce later on at the end of the call, we'll tell you about the pricing details and stuff like that. So Grapplefest always put on amazing shows. I mean, we're talking about grapplers. Some of the best grapplers from all over the world are going to be descending on Liverpool on the 1st of October, as they always do. So we're going to have wrestling. We're talking about high-level wrestling. We're going to have jiu-jitsu. We're going to have sambo. We're going to have all sorts of grappling are going to be on display. So it's going to be another amazing night put on by the Grapplefest team. So now, next guest is going to be on the show that night. So this will be his first time. I know he was meant to be matched up before, but obviously the what do we call, the planets didn't align at that point. So unfortunately, it fell through a couple of times. So but we're definitely going to be seeing him next Saturday. So we're going to have Mark McQueen of MNBJJ up against Jamie Acton. Now, if anybody doesn't know who Mark McQueen is, then I don't know where the fuck you've been for the last couple of years, man, because this guy has been running absolute riot through divisions and taking out some top talent across different belts, all the way from his own belt right up through black belts and so on. So it's going to be a pleasure to see him on the Grapplefest mat for the very first time. So, Mark, it's an absolute pleasure, buddy. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Yeah, no, thank you, mate. I'm pleased. It was literally this day, but back in February, exactly 7 days before, my ankle broke. Had to pull out, so that was a fucking disaster. But yeah, we're going to make it. We're going to make it.
Definitely. As it's been a joy to watch you. I've been able to see you grow from obviously when you came into the gym the very first time. I think you're only 6 months in at that point, and
it was like three.
That's right, yeah, 3 months, and then obviously coming in as a white belt, and obviously being able to see you grow, and it's been an absolute joy to watch you grow into the man that you are today. So, and that's an absolute awesome grappler, despite what Davy Sharp says. Do you know what I mean? So, but no, definitely an absolute awesome grappler. I mean, you've worked on everything: wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? You've done everything to get to the position you're at the moment.
Yeah, like I think the thing is like, and it's one thing that like I feel is like, well, I feel like success leaves clues, and see, like if you look at like what's like ultimately like as weight classes tend to get heavier, skill level tends to go down. It's just the way it is across all sports. Like it's just like it is just the reality. But like every now and then somebody comes along who is like much bigger but is also just as skilled, you know. So yeah. Like a Tyson Fury, for example, like, you know, he is just as skilled as anybody. You know, that's why he's like mopping the floor with these guys, you know. And I think it's the same with like, you know, grappling and everything is like coming in with a certain level of athleticism, take you really, really far. But I think like the thing that actually separates the actual top guys is ultimately talent. Not talent, sorry, it's skill. Talent's the wrong word, it's skill. Because like the reality is like, you know, like, yeah, okay, like the background I've came from with like winning worlds and like the Euros and Commonwealths and stuff like that as a powerlifter. Like, yeah, that's great. Like my strength levels are really, really good. But like ultimately it gets to a point where like the reality is like everybody's fucking strong. Like everybody's big. Everybody's got a lot of muscle. And like, it's, you know, like look at like the ADCC at the weekend, like, you know, everyone was just as big and strong as Gordon Ryan, but like look what separates it. And I'm not obviously saying that I am, but what I'm saying is that I'm trying to actually like make a real effort to like actually like get good at jiu-jitsu and get good at wrestling. Like it's been my biggest my biggest goal, like, is actually like skill development, not just being like a big dafty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd say it's been an absolute joy. I know how hard you work. I've seen it from day one. And again, this is not something that over the last couple of months, you've been putting in loads of effort. I mean, this has been since day one.
Yeah.
And we talk about even go back to powerlifting days. I mean, you've been training and competing since you were, what, 16-year-old? So,
yeah, like my whole life, mate. Like I was like playing rugby when I was like young, and then like did boxing, and football, and like I didn't take them, you know, that seriously. But like I was still like training every night of the week, still playing games at the weekend, still having boxing fights at the weekend, like
yeah,
you know, like my whole life. And then like literally from the age of 15, I've effectively been I was like, even though before I was one, I was a professional athlete. Like at 16, like I was like, you know, I look back at the life I was living. All I did was eat, sleep, train. You know, like it was like the priority of everything. And then like it's funny because when I took a step back from powerlifting or competing in powerlifting, and I was like, I just want to focus on coaching powerlifting, and I want to do some new stuff. When I started jiu-jitsu, I was like, right, I'm not letting the same thing happen as what happened with powerlifting. I'm not trying to go full time in this. I just want to learn something new and have some fun, and like not take it as seriously. And like it's funny because like this is even worse. Like at least with powerlifting, like you know, you don't like there's not as much to train, so you can't train as much. Like now I'm training like 7 days a week, 3 days a week, several times a week, 2 days a week most of the time, some days, you know, every single day. So like it's even worse now because like, you know, it's even worse because I've got cardio, I've got strength and conditioning, I've got jiu-jitsu, I've got wrestling, you know, it's good though. It's good.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. Naz, for me, it's definitely been a joy. Not just for me, but for anybody. It's been a part of your journey. It's been a joy to see where you've came from to where you're at now. And I mean, we're talking about competition, and one of the things. I mean, somebody just put a comment in. I said, I'll bring the comment up, just saying, Mark is a beast, but a gentleman at the same time. Okay, now, and that's very, very true. I mean, anybody that is going out and doing some of the stuff that you're doing would be walking around with a massive ego, and everybody be talking like Gordon Ryan. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you, I'd say, you're still very respectful, even to your opponent after the match. You're very, even before the match. But do you know what I mean? You've never got a bad thing to say about anybody. And as I say, you're always respectful. You're respectful for what's happening at the moment. You're respectful for everything, you know, like people that have came before you, and obviously the people that are coming after you as well. So, and we see that in the gym every day.
Yeah, like I think like the thing is like ultimately like, you know, I know what it's like to like truly put your all into something, like, you know, like truly put your all into something. I know what it's like to have like really big dreams. And I also know what it's like to like, you know, actually like achieve them, you know, like not in jiu-jitsu I haven't, but like with powerlifting, like, you know, like I literally like, it was like all I cared about, you know, was like winning worlds. Like I literally didn't care about anything else. Like it's literally all I cared about. So I know what it's like. And it's like, the thing is like, we're all cut from the same cloth ultimately. So like, you know, it's weird, but like, you know, like in competitions, so like obviously I've eaten like two times a month, every month for like, you know, like the last 5-6 months now. So I've been really, really busy. But like I don't actually like take enjoyment in like beating somebody because like I know what it's like to like lose. Like it's, you know what I mean, it's shit. Like it sucks so bad. So like it's not like the enjoyment in like me making someone lose that, you know, because you know you get some people and like, you know, like they like maybe beat somebody and they're like talking shit after and stuff like that. Like I don't like, because like I know what it's like. Like I know what it's like to go out and like have your ass handed to you, and like it's a shit feeling. So I don't enjoy doing that to somebody necessarily, but like I also fucking hate losing. Like I hate losing more than I like winning, you know? Like that's like the thing. So, and like, you know, ultimately you've got your goals and like people just are in your way. Like that is just the reality. Like I know what my goals are, I know what I want to do, and like, you know, there's just a ladder you've got to climb. That's just the reality.
Yeah, but definitely, I'd say not just an animal on the mats, but I'd say very, very respectful at the same time, which is unusual at times. Because as you said, people go out there and beat someone, and they'll be talking shit. Everybody wants to be Gordon Ryan or Conor McGregor or something like that. So,
I don't think Sharpie would be saying the same thing though.
Well, do you know what? That's the thing. That when I put the thing up and I said, "Oh, I'm going to be talking to Mark on Saturday," and he said, "What was he saying?" He said, "Yeah, as long as he's not talking shit about me." Do you know what I mean? And I said, "Well, look, I can't promise that, mate. I can't promise that at all." So,
Oh,
and then just
he needs,
another,
by the way, he needs to fucking be on Grapplefest.
yeah, yeah,
And he needs to be on Grapplefest, you know.
yeah. He
That's
definitely
just
does. I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, a lot of people in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? That we've not seen on Grapplefest yet that deserve a shot.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So, and as I say, we're slowly opening doors. As I say, we've had obviously in the past, we've had like Jamie Middleton, we had Cave McCalloon.
Jack Brown.
So yeah, yeah. So there's slowly but surely, as I said, more and more Scottish people are getting on the card, which is then opening doors for other Scottish people to then become part of the show. So there has been quite a few so far. So and obviously with you being on there, and Cammy Donnelly being on there as well. So it's going to open up more doors for other people coming through, and that's what I said. It's about again not just what's happening in the past and grappling, what's happening at present, but it's about the future as well. So, and the future's definitely bright. I mean, how good is Scottish grappling at the moment?
Mate, genuinely, I have so I'm all over the place training wise. Like I'm up in Aberdeen, I'm up in Elgin, I'm at the Grip House, I'm at Marcos's, I train at Kilmarnock, I train at Lycans, and I've got like the same group of boys. And mate, honestly, man, like training partner. See now, mate. See, like on a Saturday, mate, like at Marcus's at Comclass, like fucking hell, like genuinely, like you know, like just like we've been doing like pods at Marcus's, and like you know, just like pods, like it was like me, Gavin, Sharpie, Chris, Marcos. And like you know, like the list goes on. And like one thing that's been really good as well is like at Marcus's, like recently there's been like some really big boys, like you know, like much bigger than me, and it's like so good, mate. You know, like because like obviously it's good, it's great training with Chris because like Chris is like 6'6", probably like 100 and I'm 111 kilos, so he's probably like roughly same as me. So that's good because he's also a black belt, so he's class. But like, there's a few boys that are like definitely pushing like 120, 130. So like getting a train with them every week's amazing. I've been like wrestling with like Lockie at the Grip House, who's like been part of like the Scottish squad. Like he's like an actual legit like freestyle wrestler. He's like the same weight as me, but really good as well because like not only are like is a level really high, but like some big people are there as well now. So that's good because it's like it's great training with like people, everybody, but like it's hard to replicate a big fucking human, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. There's your dad. Is it your dad, Alistair? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. What's he
just
saying?
coming in with a, just coming in with
What's he
a,
saying?
he's just coming in with a comment there. Say, how many likes can you get into one sentence? so. So, and your dad's brilliant as well. I mean, your dad comes along to the shows. As I said, we see him at the local comps whenever you're competing here, SGIs and stuff like that. So, your dad always turns up and he always loves what he's watching.
Yeah, yeah. Can't let him down. Can't let him down.
Yeah. Is your dad heading down to Grapplefest with you?
He's not. He's not going to be able to make it next weekend, but but no, maybe he'll catch on Fight TV or whatever. But especially when your dad comes, you can't get battered in front of your dad, can you? That's even that worse, isn't it? Like, it's bad enough getting layered, but see getting layered like in front of your friends or your dad or whatever.
Yeah,
extra bad.
And then obviously the Grapplefest then. So Grapplefest, as we mentioned, obviously you're going to be on it previously, but obviously it didn't work out because obviously injuries and stuff like that. So obviously this time then, so how did you find out then this time you were going to be on the card?
Yeah, so obviously like back in February, me and Jamie were meant to be against each other, and like a week out, literally exactly a week out, I broke my ankle in training, and like, oh mate, I cannot even describe how how gutting that was. It was awful. So I like very sheepishly like messaged Chris and was like, mate, I'm so sorry, like I've just had it x-rayed, like I broke my ankle. Like there's nothing, because like, originally like I wasn't going to get it X-rayed. I was just going to like compete. I was like just going to compete, and I woke up the next day, mate, and like I actually like couldn't walk. So I was like, right, okay. And then the next, so then I basically said to Christian, I'm so sorry, but I'll be ready next one, I promise. So next one comes along and I'm ready, but then unfortunately I think Jamie was injured. And like, you know what it's like in like our weight class, like it's quite hard to get a match. You know, there's not many of us around, and it's quite hard. And I don't even know, maybe they're just quite keen for my first match to be with Jamie. So like, right, wait for the next one. So then the next one comes along, and as soon as they announced it, I messaged and I was like, look, I'm ready. You know, like whatever. Whoever, like, I'm ready, just let me know. And then luckily as well, Jamie was obviously ready as well. So that's great. Yeah, like, you know, like I felt it was awful because like the thing was back in February, like I know how hard I'd trained for it and I know how much I'd sacrificed. And then for it to be taken away just through just a training accident, it's so terrible. But it's also shit as well because I'm like, well, I fucking know how hard I've worked, and like he's working just the same, and he's having it pulled from him as well. You know, like you know, like my actions don't just affect me. Like there's consequences to him as well. So that was rubbish. But touch wood, I hope Jamie's healthy and we both get in there next week and finally get a good match.
Definitely. What's next then, Mark? So obviously, again, I mean, it's been an amazing run so far, and there's obviously a long way to go. As there's going to be an even more amazing run coming forward. So, so obviously, Grapplefest will be your main focus. But what do you fancy doing then, 2023 onwards?
Honestly, mate, like I'm going to be competing every single month, like without fail. So, like obviously, like Empire Grappling have sponsored me to compete at their comps, which is really good. So I get, you know. Yeah. So I'll be doing a lot of them, and basically, mate, like the goal is ADCC trials in September 2023. Like I'm not going, like, you know, I'm not like arrogantly going to sit here and like, you know, but like that's the goal, like ADCC trials, and like I'm not, you know, the truth is like I'm a very realistic person, but like I'm not trying to be like the hottest bird in McDonald's, you know, like I'm not wanting to just go to like wee local comps and you know, get a gold medal. Like I want to win trials, so like that is the goal. And I think the thing is realistically speaking, from the last trials, obviously I won the first match with a choke, and then the second match was against I don't know how to pronounce his name, Big Seth. You know, and like it was a shit match, you know, like it was 0-0, went to overtime, it was 0-0, like nothing happened. The referees gave it his way, and rightly so, like absolutely should have went his way. But like nothing happened in the match at all. And like I just wasn't prepared to deal with somebody that was like 70 kilos heavier than me. I didn't have any answers. And like that's on me. Like that's up, you know, I wasn't good enough. But like the takeaways from it was I'm too heavy, I'm not fit enough, my cardio's not good enough, and I'm not mobile enough. Like the thing was like this is what was so funny. Like I was so focused on, because as a heavyweight, I'm like, I need to be big and strong. Like I was like, when we locked up, I was pushing him backwards and he weighs like 70 kilos more than me. Like I was stronger, but it wasn't achieving anything, you know. Like I couldn't lock my arms around his waist. Like, you know, I didn't have any answers. Like the answers to that is like, I need to be fit, I need to be fast, I need to be able to shoot like low singles, street singles, stuff like that. So I came away from that and I'm like, well, what then? Well, one, I just need to get better at grappling at every area. That's just common sense. But the other two things that I noticed was like, well, one, I'm already too strong. Although that doesn't exist, like I don't need to be stronger. Like that's just, you know, I need to be fitter, lighter, more athletic, more agile. And again, like I think I always think, and this all through powerlifting, like success leaves clues. And like if you look at all the guys at ADCC, they're all like 105 to 110 kilos. Gordon Ryan, 100 kilos. Nicky Rod, 107 kilos. Felipe Pena was like 100 kilos. You know, Big Dan is like 113 kilos, but Big Dan's like 6'7". So if you bring him down to like 6 foot, he's the same weight as like Gordon Ryan, you know? Like all these guys are like this weight. So I'm like, what am I sitting up at 125, 130 kilos for? Like that's not what the best in the world are doing. So I've like dropped down 111 kilos, and it's, you know, it's been like the best thing I've ever done. Like literally, like my cardio feels like an actual strength now. I don't get tired. My mobility, my movement, my wrestling, like everything is so much better from it. So that was one thing I needed to improve. And then the other thing that I identified was I'm just not experienced enough. Like I'm just not experienced enough. You know, like the thing was with being in that match, I was so stupid because like you know, that was only like my sixth comp at trials, I think, you know, like sixth per comp. And like I was so attached to my game plan that I had no confidence that, you know, when it wasn't working, I had no confidence to do anything else. And then I started to like, I don't know if panic is the right word, but just like stress and panic and like, oh, it's not working, I don't know what to do. And that's just like a lack of confidence, and that's come from a lack of experience. So I just need to compete as often as possible. So I've been competing like twice a month, every month. And I'm going to be doing that, mate, right up to trials. Like the truth is, and the thing is as well, each comp, like, and again, this isn't, I'm not like, I hope people don't intend me to be arrogant when I say this. Like I'm just training through all the comps. Like and it's not that I'm not taking the comps seriously. I am, but I mean, like, cause I'm competing so frequently, you can't peak for all of them. It's impossible, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I'm just training through every comp. Like I do a comp class at Marcus's on a Saturday. And like when on comp, and when I've been doing a comp, I've just been treating it like a comp class. Like I'll go and do the comp, and then mate, every time after I do a comp, I go and still do my weights and my cardio straight, you know, after it, because like that's just a normal day, because that's what I do after comp class. So that's honestly what 2023's got, mate. I'll be competing 1 to 2 times a month, every month, and I'll be going to trials. What the comps are, just mate, the biggest and best comps that are available, you know. Like I hope to be on more Grapplefest. I would absolutely love to get on Polaris. You know, like, yeah, that's the plan, mate. I just need to keep getting fitter, keep getting better, and I need to be more experienced, because at trials, like, it just wasn't good enough. Like my first match, I felt I was great. Like I felt like I was really good. Like I was very composed, very calm, took his back, choked him. But then against like Big Seth, and like this is credit to him, because like it's the game plan he employed, and I had no answers, you know. So like I'm not like trying to, like, you know, the credit is on him, but what I mean is like I had no answers, and I started to panic and get frustrated, and it's just for a lack of, one, not being good enough, and two, not being experienced enough. So that's basically my plan for 2023. Get better, get more experienced, and go to trials and win. That's the reality.
That's the thing as well. I mean, the trials, obviously going out there the first time, and obviously your experience of what the trials was like, and obviously the level of competition, and then to be able to come back and then change things. Do you know what I mean? You talked about dropping weight from 125, 130 to 111 at the moment. And obviously continue doing what you're doing, and then increasing your competition rate and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Not many people do that. People will go to trials, and
I think the
they'll
thing
do
is,
it.
I think the thing is like it's easy to protect your ego. Like it's quite, you know, like it's quite a hard thing to say. Like I was not good enough at trials. Like I did not have the skill set. I didn't have the fitness. I wasn't good enough. And I think it's easy to lie to yourself. And like, you know, the amount of messages that I got, they were like, oh, he was just 185 kilos. He just stalled, didn't do anything, blah, 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 blah. And like, it's like, well, I don't disagree with it, but the reality is it's on me to beat him, you know? And like, taking that attitude is not going to make me better. You know, like in powerlifting, the first European Championships I went to, I got silver, so I know that's obviously, to some people would be a big success, but like to me it was awful. But like I remember going to that Euros, and like, although I got the silver medal, which is, I suppose, in hindsight, very good. The person that came first, absolutely, it wasn't like, he was just on another level. Like it was just, and like the pace of the competition, I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't prepared enough. And then I came home, changed a bunch of stuff, went to the Worlds, and everything I changed worked so well. But you know, I came fifth at that Worlds, and again, like but I'd actually done amazing. Like I'd done the best I could do, if that makes sense. Like I performed out my skin, and I came fifth. And I remember looking at first place and just thinking, I'm not even fit to, like, you know, like lace these guys' boots. But again, like, at least I knew what I'd done had worked, and again, you just keep getting better, and then eventually, like, it was my turn, and I won worlds. But I think it's important after a comp, good or bad, like, you know, you need to be able to, like, check your ego and not, like, you know, because I could have just left that comp and protected myself and been like, oh, he just stalled. It's like, no, I wasn't good enough. I need to be better. And I think that's the reality. And, like, I think, like, you need to do that. You need to be honest with yourself. You know, you need to be.
Definitely. And then final thing for you then, Mark. So as it's been an amazing run. It's been an amazing ride so far, and it's only going to get better. I mean, it's only going to get better. I say, me for one, not just me, as I said earlier, me and the whole of Scotland. Everybody's buzzing to see where you're going to go, how far you're going to take it, who you're going to be up against, the things that you're going to do, because some of the stuff you're going to do is going to be absolutely amazing, historic as well. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be one of the first people to do a load of different things, which for Scottish grappling, there's going to be kids. I mean, kids, like when I was younger, people always, like, when we played football, everybody wanted to be Maradona or Pele or stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But kids in a few years are going to be coming into jiu-jitsu, and they're going to be like, I want to be like Gordon Ryan or Mark McQueen.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Don't say it.
Listen, it's coming, man. It's coming. Scottish kids, especially some of the kids that come through now. Do you know what I mean? And you talk to them about competitions and stuff like that, and they talk about who's some of their heroes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's always like people from Scotland. It's always people in jiu-jitsu from Scotland. Do you know what I mean? So they're going to be like, I want to be like Mark McQueen. I want to be like Shea Montague. So
Scotland, you know, I think, like, grappling wise, I think Scotland is maybe not necessarily been getting the credit it deserves. Oh, also, I know we said it was me and Cammy on. Shay's also on Grapplefest this week.
I forgot Shay, I was talking to Shay about it earlier as well, so I forgot all about Shay. So,
but, like, mate, there's so many, like Shawnee Stewart, David Sharp, up in I know Kev Macklin does get in Grapplefest. But, like, Ben Campbell from SBG, like, how that guy's not in Grapplefest, like, I don't know. Like, he is without a doubt, like, hardest trick round I ever get. Like, he is phenomenal. Like, he's phenomenal, mate. Like, you know, there's so many people, even like Saul as well. Saul from SBG Aberdeen, he should be on it. Kenny, Gavin. You know, there's so many people from Marcos's, from all over. You know, even like Kieran Malone, you know, you got Cammy as well from the Grip House. Like, these guys should, you know, Kieran has been on Grapplefest. I don't know if Cammy has, but, like, there's so many people from Scotland, mate, that are so class. And, like, we really need to start, like, you know, really getting people out there. Really get people out there.
Mate, I never heard Stoomboy mentioned in that big list, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that goes without saying, mate. That just goes without saying.
Oh, mate, I'm far from Grapplefest, mate. I should be on fucking Grapple something, but no Grapplefest. Do you know what I mean? So, so final thing for you then, Mark. So, anybody you want to shout out to? Friends, family members, teammates, sponsors, anything like that you might have?
Fuck you, David Sharp.
David, mate, he's not been in the comments. I'm surprised. Do you know what I mean? I'm very, very. I know he's watching. You know he's watching. Do you know what I mean? Because he watches everything you do. Do you know what I mean? So everything you do, David Sharp's been watching it. Do you know what I mean? So he tries to copy you. I've seen him doing weights and all that, and he's trying to pick up big boy weights, man, and he's doing well. He's doing all right. Do you know what I mean? So
he's doing so. He has as much as I hate him, he is doing so good.
But he's definitely watching everything you do. He's like, anything Mark can do, I'm going to do it as well. So, but yeah, anybody you want to shout out to then?
Just everybody, you know, Marcos, obviously, Ross from SBG Aberdeen, Nico, SBG Murray, SBG Aberdeen, Marcos, Kelly, literally just all my training partners, all my coaches, like, yeah, like, I don't want to, like, start saying people, because then you miss people out by mistake. Like, everybody knows who they are. You know, huge shout out to, like, MNBJJ, Likens, SBG Aberdeen, SBG Murray.
Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you as always, Mark. So, as I always love chatting with you, always love we always have a laughing in the gym as well. Anytime I walk in the gym, I'm like, Mark McQueen's here. He's going to be hiding from me, and then I go away and sit in the corner like that, not looking. So, but listen, it's always a pleasure seeing you.
Mate,
So.
Thomas has been back at comp class, so we just need you, and we just need Big Pete. We just need Big Pete back, and then that's it.
It'll be a 4 between me, you, Thomas, and Peter Downs. You're going to learn absolutely nothing there, mate. Absolutely fuck all. So, guys, there we go. Then we're going to have Mark McQueen, MNBJJ. It's going to be up against Jamie Acton. That's going to be Saturday, 1st of October, Grapplefest 13. Now, anybody looking for tickets, as I mentioned, head over to the Grapplefest Facebook page. And anybody that can't make the event on the evening, head over to Fight TV. Now, there's a couple of different payment options. If you want to go for the standalone pay-per-view, it's $14.99. So, which is not bad. It's a good price. But probably the most cost-efficient way of doing it is to go for the monthly pay-per-view. So, monthly pay-per-view, I think it works out about $4.99. I don't know how much that is in UK pounds now. That the UK pound's dropping down in price. All right, so I think it's probably about $4.40 or something like that. So, but yeah, it's definitely brilliant. I said you're going to have all the Grapple Kings, all the Grapple Fests, and various other things are going to be on Fight TV as well. So make sure you do not miss this. As I said, some unbelievable talent at Grapplefest always display some of the best people from all over the world, and this one's no different. So. Mark McQueen, Jamie Acton, this is one you do not want to miss. So, but listen, Mark, absolute pleasure as always, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your training.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Right. No problem. Always a pleasure, buddy. Enjoy, all right? And we'll see you. Are you in the class? Are you in the gym during the week?
So I'll be at Likens tomorrow, and then I'll be back up the road in Aberdeen through the week. So, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'll catch up with you at some point anyway, but enjoy Grapplefest, buddy, all right?
Thank you, mate.
Take it easy, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.